Hi everybody, welcome to another Toonkind at 12 FPS. It's me, Uni. I'm playing someone. Um yeah, that's
Hi.
that's it.
Yeah, just somebody. Someone. And, hi, my name's Ars Obsessions, also known as Obby, and today I am playing Petra Baduri. She's here. She's vibing.
Yeah. I will say it's probably been, I don't know, like a day or two since Nord everything happened.
That,
It
that
all
whole
happened
stuff,
so
yeah.
much.
Yeah, for context, this is happening after, like, the 6th or 7th episode of Dreamer's Crest. If you haven't watched Dreamer's Crest yet, I totally recommend it. It's a boatload of fun.
hmm
Uh, Despite the fact there are no boats.
Not yet.
Not yet, that is true. Who knows, maybe we can have a boat in the future.
We may build docks. You never know.
Boat.
Boot.
You never
Um,
know.
but yeah,
uh,
Petra, how have you been um taking all that in and spending time since then?
last time? Last time was a lot. Last time was a lot. Oh man, I think for the most part, Petra maybe has taken like a few days to just be on her own for a little bit. Not like leaving the town, but just like vibing elsewhere. If
Yeah,
that makes sense.
yeah, totally. Can relate.
He just isolate herself out maybe in the woods near the town. Do some painting, do some uh equivalent of sparring without anyone to spar with.
Just
Just
punching a tree.
things that keep her busy. Yeah, punch a tree. The trees around here get abused so much. I'm so sorry, trees.
Yeah, between her and March, I think they get pretty used and abused.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
um, I will say, actually, um, I'm just gonna go ahead and say, like, it's morning. You're gonna go out and do some tree punching. Um,
Oh yeah.
make a perception check.
Ah yeah. Perception time. All right, Petra, where is your perception? There it is. That's a nat
That's a
one.
that one.
That's a nat
Incredible.
one.
It is a
She sees nothing.
nope. You see
It's
a tree and you're gonna punch the hell out of this tree.
it's
Uh,
early,
make an
and she
attack
is
roll
just
on the tree.
a tackle on the tree. Oh gosh, what would be her unarmed thing? It would probably be strength, I assume.
Yeah,
Strength,
I think it would
because
just
she's
be flat strength.
not proficient in unarmed combat. Boop,
Nice.
14.
Yeah, you absolutely hit the tree. And just like, yeah, you're feeling good about working up a sweat, and then you hear a small yell from above.
I think like Petra, like before she's about to have her fist impact with the tree again, kind of like freezes and like looks up in surprise.
That was a dexterity saving throw. The child does not manage to catch themselves and they fall off a branch.
Petra swears and goes to try and catch the kid.
Um, I guess make a dexterity check.
Yay, a dex check! This will go great.
So the child lands
Petra,
on top of you,
Petra
Petra.
falls. Petra falls face first onto the dirt, and the child just lands right on top of her.
Oh my god, god, this is going great.
This is already going so well.
These these are these are the most roles.
They certainly are roles.
These are roles that are here. Oh boy.
Mm-hmm.
The child who is was somewhat startled awake and is very disoriented and suddenly has adrenaline rushing through them. Sort of like sort of scrambles up off her back and is looking around extremely confused and um realizes who they land on top of and starts nudging Petra with their foot. Is she
Yeah.
dead?
I think Petra just lays there for like a minute. Just it's early. She's already been crashed on. This might as well be how the day starts out.
There's a just like when she just lies there, there's a definite of like, oh god, I killed her.
I think eventually Petra, like after the child like nudges her one more time, she just rolls over so she's no longer on her stomach and is on her back.
They jump back again, just like, oh, oh god.
Uh, hey kiddo. Petra's just sits up.
they
Oh man.
they're like still like flinched back, but also then they raise a hand as a tiny little wave.
Yeah. Petra waves back. Sorry, I didn't notice you were and she kind of points up at the tree.
Um, Child looks up and gives an awkward little shrug of like, "Hi, it's okay." Um, gives Petra a look up and down. Mm, they kind of worry at their lip a little bit, and then take a hesitant step closer.
Hmm.
Um, and if Petra allows, they will get close enough to prestidigitate her clean.
Yeah, yeah, she'll allow it. I think she just gives like a just like a thankful nod, just like a quick up and down of the head, and then just slowly stands up off the ground, like her hands at her elbows, and just ugh, ugh. Well, sorry about the rude awakening.
Um,
Sorry. And like she's just awkwardly rubbing the back of her neck.
they uh shake their head and then like gesture to the tree. It's like, would you like to continue doing whatever to this tree? They don't entirely know what's happening, but they feel like they must have interrupted something.
Oh, I was just like and then like Petra's like rocking back and forth on her feet, like trying to figure out like how to word it. Petra's not good with words.
Well, don't worry, neither is the child.
Handshake. Bad with words. I was just getting some morning exercise in. Important to, stay healthy and all that. Uh and like she kind of like gives like a half-hearted little punch to the tree.
The child tilts their head to the side. They're not entirely sure how punching a tree is healthy, but they imitate her and try to punch the tree. They don't punch it very hard, but than rub at their knuckles because they don't know how to do it properly.
Yeah, yeah. Oh my gosh. I'm just. Oh no. Petra like watches this for a second, and then I think she actually like goes to help the kid like with punching better.
Oh my god.
She's like, "Oh no, you don't want to have your thumb like in like curled up like underneath your fingers. You want it on the outside because if you punch real hard and your thumb is behind your fingers, you might end up, hurting it."
They let her like show proper hand fist posture. Um and are just sort of they're just sort of watching her talk with sort of wide-eyed confusion and just sort of intent.
Oh, hmm. I'm just
They
picturing
try
Petra
punching
doing
the
it.
tree again once she's done instructing. They're still not good at it.
Yeah. It takes practice. It takes practice to fight good.
It does.
Which Petra does a lot of practice. A lot of practice. Camera cuts momentarily to the section of the woods that's just covered in ink.
um and actually I think with like the child will uh sort of like they'll rub at their knuckles again while looking sort of thoughtful. Um and Pedro, you can tell they're trying to figure out how to communicate something.
Hmm.
Um
Well, I think Petra's just kind of like watching and like she makes like a little hand gesture for like, uh, go ahead, take your time, I'm listening.
they will they'll do like a little like baby flex point at her, and then they'll do it again and sort of like spread out their legs far and imitate holding something over their head. And it takes you a second to figure out what they're doing, but after a, a bit you realize they're trying to imitate March, and they're asking who's
Aww.
who's stronger.
Aww. That's cute. Oh my god. Oh. Hmm. Well, I mean, the last time we sparred, I won. Oh wait, actually, did she win? I can't remember. No, March won. March won. I'm a fool.
I don't know if it's even better if she claims that when that is not the case. But
I gotta roll deception because I did it accidentally,
yes.
and this is gonna go great. 5.
Yeah, the child like they look thoroughly unconvinced. They know March is really strong.
Oh come on! Don't give me that look. I mean, I'm strong too.
And they just sort of like they flick their tail and they're like, yeah, but no one's as strong as March. They think March is so cool.
That's so good.
um
Uh,
and
uh.
oh god, after a second
Have you seen how strong Star is?
they blink a little bit and shake their head like No, they actually haven't gotten to see Star do much strongy stuff. Um, Star is mostly
Well, I'm pretty sure Star could give March a run for his money.
the child looks dubious.
Someday all three of us are gonna have to spar just to see who wins. Like Petra just hums.
Child nods very seriously. It's important to know these things
Strong. Who is the strongest?
because these are things that can be qualified very, very linearly.
Yeah. Uh, hmm. Hmm. I feel like there's just like an awkward silence that starts permeating the air.
Hmm.
It's been a while since Petra's had to like properly communicate with kids, and she's just like grasping at what do I say? What do we do? Uh.
I think as she is debating the child, they rub at their eye. They're still, after the adrenaline has left their system, they're still a little sleepy, and they look up to like see it's still pretty early morning. They're looking at the early light through the trees. And they just take her hand and start leading her.
Okay. Yeah, Petra's just gonna follow along.
They like take her to the inn, and they just sort of like stop outside and look confused. Um, you can make an insight check.
Insight. 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 Petra, what's your insight? It is a +4. Boop.
Oh, that's an at 20.
Oh! That's 20. Nice.
So you might even just like know from being one of the few people who actually uses the inn. um, um Tia will like she's being a huge sweetheart. She will often leave food out for the people who don't come into the inn. And because it's early, she hasn't yet. And the child is just like, where is the food that magically appears every morning? How could it not be here yet?
I think like Petra processes for a second before going, "Oh, okay. You're looking for breakfast, huh?"
They pat their stomach.
Well, I'm pretty sure Tia wouldn't mind if I tried to make something. Uh, want to tag along inside?
They look a little unsure, but then nod. It's like it'll probably be okay just to visit.
E. I think Petra, like, without much of a warning, just like picks up the kid and then starts heading to the inside of the inn.
They squeak a little bit.
Yeah. Petra just walks into the inn, carefully shuts the door behind her, and then walks towards the kitchen. And then I think she's just gonna set the kid on the counter before going about towards the kitchen and its many, many strange, weird devices. Oh god.
Oh, good. Child in a kitchen. What can go wrong?
Petra in a kitchen, what could go wrong? She barely
Yeah.
knows how the stove works. Barely.
I think, yeah, child is like immediately going to like at first it seems like they're gonna stay still, but then they're like, oh, there's drawers. Oh, there's things inside. Oh, I need to see what's inside all the things.
It's time to
Starts like
explore.
opening cupboards and drawers and all that.
Yeah. I think Petra's gonna like keep her eye on the kid while she starts going to the weird box that keeps things cold.
Oh,
And just
the
opening
magical
stuff up
freezy
and
box.
magical freezy box. What is this? What is this? This was not around in her time. uh,
Oh, yeah, I think she goes there and the child is immediately like beside her and peeking in and just like, oh, it's cold.
yeah. I got the giggles. I'm sorry. Give me a sec. I'm gonna get some water.
Okay.
Oh. Okay. I think like Petra like looks down at the kid, being like, "Oh, it's cold," and then she's like, "Right, right."
And like they like grab the handle of the freezy door and like close it and open it and close it again
Close it.
and then open it again. I can't believe you could
The
just
whole
turn
time.
off temperature like that.
Turn off temperature. Yeah. The whole time, Petra's just nodding sagely, like, "Yep, this is weird stuff. Explore it." Uh, so, what sounds good right now? Uh, maybe something simple. Uh, I think Petra's just gonna start looking around for just like bread and jam, and that's it. Because
Giles is like
that is
probably randomly grabs something from the fridge, like I don't know, just like a jar, like a bottle of ketchup, and um, not even, and they're just like pulling out random ingredients. They don't know what foods go good together.
Petra's, Petra's like a mix of, oh, are they like trying to get stuff out they like? Oh wait, this is just a bunch of random stuff. Wait a second. Like processing slowly.
She probably should step in before they like discover eggs and how delightfully breakable they are.
Oh yeah, that's, oh no. Yeah, I think Petra, like after a moment, she's like, oh, okay, we can't have pull everything out, you know. And she like very carefully like steps us behind and like gently tries to nudge the child away from from the fridge.
They pout slightly. But
Well, we
then
gotta keep this stuff cold, otherwise they'll go bad. I think. At least that's how Star explained it.
they their eyebrows kind of raise slightly. They peer very suspiciously at like the ketchup bottle, and then they make like they try to like make a face, like a scary face. It's going to go bad, evil bad, evil ketchup.
You catch Petra just laughs like a big belly laugh. If anyone else was sleeping in the inn, I'm sorry, they're probably not anymore. And she goes, no, no, like, bad is in not tasty, like, uh, you know how, like, when you leave something out, like food out for a long time, it just does not taste good and is bad for you? Yeah.
Mm.
Apparently, keeping it cold makes it so it doesn't do that as fast.
Child, they think about it and then they pick up like the head of lettuce that they pulled out. And then they try making a face at that too. They will scare them into submission. And Petra, because you rolled really good insight earlier, like you know the kid gets it. They just liked that they got you to laugh and are doing it again.
Aww.
It's that
That's
thing with kids where it's just like I got a reaction out of them. I need to milk this for all it's worth.
you know what? That's fair. I think Petra does laugh again. Maybe not quite as loud, but yeah. Oh,
But after she coerces them into putting stuff back, they will continue their explorations. Like, oh, if there's a cold room, there must be a heat room, and it's like, who knows? Who knows how many magical temperature rooms there are? And they continue their exploration.
oh boy. Yeah, Petra's definitely gonna be keeping an eye out on the kid, because flashbacks to the time she burned her hand in the sink from the hot water. Yeah, I think
Mostly, I
she's
think
just
it mostly like they fiddle with the oven, but they don't know how to turn it on. So thankfully, nothing comes of that. Um,
yeah.
the sink is not completely weird to them. They understand plumbing makes the water go.
yeah.
But yeah, eventually you're able to get some like toast and jam.
Yeah, toast and jam. She just like puts it on a little plate, and then she hands the little plate to the kid, all while munching her own.
They hop up back on the counter while they eat and do the like kicky leg thing. Oh,
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I think Petra is just munching on her toaster a bit, and just kind of quietly watching the kid as they enjoy their own breakfast. Uh, hmm. This might be like a random question, but how old are you? Wait a second, can you even count? Like just like questioning herself as she's asking this question.
they just kind of look at her.
Like, hmm, do you know like how age works? It's like, hmm. She's trying to gauge what this child does and does not know.
They kind of do, but also only vaguely.
Yeah,
um,
yeah.
well, they think about it. They point at her, then they like make a gesture and go like smaller. They are younger than you.
She just shrugs like, you know what, fair enough. uh, hmm. Like she has like questions that she wants to ask, but she's not sure like how to bring them up. So she's just like kind of awkwardly standing there, just finishing up her breakfast.
Child will like eat the part that she has offered to them, and then they will also like rip off another chunk of bread and dunk it in the jam.
Yeah, yeah. Oh,
It's I think like it's worth noting, even if they didn't, break or destroy anything in their exploration of the kitchen, it is considerably messier than it was when you came in.
oh, absolutely, absolutely. Petra was not neat about, making the food, and then things are in a mess. Anything that was put back in the fridge was probably not put back in the right spots. So the people who have to use it next are going to be so confused with that.
Sorry, Tia.
Sorry, dear. Uh, hmm. So, hmm. Do you want to do anything, I suppose? If we are, hanging out.
Child again blinks at her, and after a second, you think that like they're just kind of staring blankly because they don't want to, but then after a second, they just like brighten and nod.
Cool, cool. Like Petra, kind of gives a little grin, before she, motions for, like, the kid to, like, hop up on her back.
And they again
Fun, we can.
like get excited and climb on her. Um, they're still slightly
Yeah.
sticky from all the jam.
Petra doesn't mind. Petra doesn't mind when freaking spars result in her getting covered in ink. She's not gonna mind a little bit of sticky from jam.
True. That is, yeah, that's very true. You gotta get comfortable with the mess in this group.
Oh yeah. I mean, Petra herself is not a clean person. Just a lot of messy people. Petra's gonna like start heading outside now, giving the child a little piggyback ride. Uh, Leaving the kitchen in a mess, completely forgetting about it.
Yeah. Again, we are sorry, Tia.
Sorry, Tia. Petra will clean it up later, maybe, if she remembers.
Child won't.
Although the likelihood of her remembering is not high. Uh, I feel like Petra kind of steps outside of the town hall before trying to like stop and think on like, where to go? Where could we
Child
do
points.
things?
They point
Oh,
in the direction of like the tiny playground that got set up for them and the other kids. Um
ye
and
that
like
way. All right.
yeah. And
Ye.
it isn't huge. There's, a slide, a swing, um
Mm-hmm.
stuff to
Ye.
climb on. But
Ye.
Charles is just like, this is the place where fun things happen. This is the place to
Oh
go
yeah.
to.
Oh yeah. Petra heads over there, jogging, which definitely makes the piggyback ride a little bit more fun.
Yeah, boing.
Yeah. Boing 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 boing.
Um, I guess Petra make another perception check.
Oh boy, perception. Oh boy. 14.
14. Um, you don't notice anything for now.
You know what? Fair.
Yeah.
That fills me with fear, but fair.
But yeah,
So,
as you get there, Child jumps off of Petra and stands they very proudly, sort of like, yes, this is the playground. Welcome.
welcome to my domain.
Basically, they sort of like gesture, being like, would you like to try the slide? It is not not a super huge slide for someone that is a grown adult. I mean, you are fairly short,
Yeah,
so
I this is an important thing to note. I think like the child is actually a little bit taller than Petra, ever so
yeah.
slightly,
Yeah, the piggyback
which
ride
is
is probably
really
kind of
funny.
hilarious because
Oh yeah,
she's absolutely strong enough to do it, but yeah.
but also dwarf,
Also dwarf.
dwarf.
Um
She is not big, she is not tall, but she's real dense,
yes, tightly packed.
tightly packed, lots of muscle. I think like just to humor the kid, she's gonna give the slide a go.
Oh, yes. They are thrilled. They seem very expected that you will be having a wonderful time doing this. Um
Yeah.
and I think it's uh, you didn't notice it when you first came in, but when you know, get to the bottom of the slide, boy, that sure was a slide. um,
Sure was a slide. There was gravity involved.
yep. You sort of like go get to the bottom, dust yourself off, turn around, and you notice that like underneath the structure is the little monkey toy that you gave the kid.
Oh, the monkey toy. Oh, oh, that picture that just makes Petra like grin a bit more, although she won't point it out.
And
So,
meanwhile, the
what's your
child
favorite?
has climbed up to the slide and uh,
Yeah,
is looking very proud of how tall they are. They wave down at her.
good. Petra waves back up. They like being tall.
Indeed.
Indeed.
The, they just decide like they don't even slide down. They just sit up there.
You know what? That's fair. Sometimes you just gotta be tall.
hmm
Oh, I think like Petra's just gonna like casually like lean on the side of the slide and while still looking up at the kid, just so is the slide your favorite part here? Or do you like other parts of the playground?
Um, they point over at the swing. The swing's pretty fun, and they chew on their lip for a second, and then sort of they slide down, and then sort of conspiratorially um they gesture to her to come over to a little patch of dirt.
Ah, yes. I think Petra is just gonna like nod very seriously, like, "Oh, secret time," and just follow behind.
And they
she
like they
she quote
just
unquote tries to be sneaky. I say tries. Petra's not very sneaky.
and the child shows her, yeah, just sort of like slightly muddy little area, and there's like a bunch of sticks lined up um in the dirt, and they grab one and offer it to her.
Petra takes it.
They take one for themselves, and then they begin to draw in the dirt,
Yes,
and
good.
they kind of glance up at her and then continue drawing.
I think Petra kind of grins before she also starts doing little drawings in the dirt.
Once she joins in, they were looking a little bit anxious before, but then they smile a bit. Um and Yeah, they just do a little like drawing of like very rudimentary, but you tell like, oh, that's like supposed to be the inn, or oh,
Yee.
here's a weird looking tree outside of town, things like that.
Yeah. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Hmm. I'm trying to think what Petra would draw. Hmm. Oh, Petra probably draws like a little griffin. Because
She d-
griffins are neat.
when she does that, child like after a second stops and watches, and uh when she's done, they're just like, whoa.
Oh.
They don't know what it is, but it looks very cool.
I think Petra's just giving him a grin. So, you like drawing
They
stuff? No.
uh I sort of rub at their arm and nod.
Oh. Hmm. I like drawing too. It's a lot of fun. And Petra like kind of like reaches behind herself and she actually pulls out a little journal. It looks like a little leather bound journal that is very full of pages, like loose leaf kind of stuff. Not just the pages that were in the journal. And she flips it open and shows it to the kid to show like little uh, graphite doodles
The
and
child
like
just
charcoal stuff and just drawings.
their eyes go so round.
Yeah.
And they unless she stops them, they will like take the book and start flipping through it.
Yeah. I think she's gonna like let him hold on to it. Uh like inside the book there's just like a whole lot of like general drawings. There's like sketches of trees, like scenery bits, and there's also pages of unfamiliar figures. It looks to be maybe people that look similar to Petra and or people who are like just other dwarves. I feel like there would also be drawings of buildings that also do not look familiar, like from other places. And closer to like more towards the end of the book, there's starting to be drawings take that she's made around Dreamer's Crest itself, including actually a lot of drawings of just the people who hang out around here. There's some of Cammy, there's some of Noctis, there's some of Tia and Tio, there's some of Petra. No, well, Petra herself, and Star, and just the whole group.
The child is like they're going through with just like absolutely they're like looking at every page and so excited, and their fingers sort of trace over some of them, and if it gets they get to a picture of them, um and they just like point at it, just like ah.
Petra just is just beaming. I will make a side note. There do seem to be a lot of March. Anyway,
That seems perfectly natural to child because March is so cool.
March is very cool. March is very cool. Petra can agree on this.
um child uh sort of like bounces on their feet for a second, offers her the book, but like they they hold it open to a certain page, and hold it out to her like hold it here. um,
Petra nods and very carefully takes the book and holds it.
and they pick up their stick again and are like, looking between the dirt and her picture and like start trying to draw something in the dirt that looks like what she did of March. Um
Aww.
and
That's really cute. Oh my gosh.
and Petra like clearly has a lot of experience drawing, and the child is doing wobbly little circles, and they look absolutely delighted.
Aww. This is so cute. I'm dying. Oh, I'm dying. I'm, oh.
You definitely like went up in the child's like list of cool people in town.
Oh yeah. Points. Cool
um
points.
and the child thinks about it for a second, um and then they like hold their hands up in a gesture to be like stay right there, before darting
Aw.
off.
Oh, okay.
And
Petra's just gonna stay put, kind of still awkwardly holding the book. Like as she was like meant to be holding it. Just sitting there.
and it like it takes a few minutes for them to come back for a second, like just long enough for Petra to be like, "Have I been ditched?" Before like there's some rustling and like child pops out from a bush, um,
Bush.
and they are carrying a little watercolor case, and they hold it out to her.
Oh, oh, oh. Oh, where'd you get those? Petra asks as she like carefully closes the little journal and sets it down next to her.
They point at their doodle of March.
Ah, okay. That explains it. uh
And they kick their foot a little awkwardly and sit down. Um, and
do you want me to show you how to use them?
they again light up. They were feeling bad because it's like Birch gave me this. I don't know what to do with it.
It is okay. Petra is gonna roll hammer space. That's a 3, so that works. Petra reaches into her hammer space and she pulls out like another one of those sketchbook journals, but it doesn't seem to be nearly as full as the other one. And she very carefully hands it to the kid before reaching in her hammer space again. Do do do. And pulling out what looks like a set of brushes as well as a little cup, and she like pulls out like a canteen of water and pours it into the cup, and yeah. Okay, so these are watercolor paints. So how they work is you and like she opens up like her own journal like to a blank page towards the back, and she takes one of the brushes and dabs it in the cup with water, and then she dabs it in like one of the watercolor stuff, probably the more yellow one, and then she brings it to the page and makes a little mark with it.
The child looks very intently, then hesitantly picks up a brush and sort of imitates her. Um, Pokes it into the uh probably the yellow as well, and
Mm-hmm.
They hesitate for a second, then put it on their paper.
E E makes a little mark.
And then you actually, Petra, you actually hear a little. They just give an excited little like a a little giggle, and like they just seem sort of excited and anxious, like, oh God, I'm doing something bad, but they're very excited about it. um, and
Oh, Yuri, I'm dying. That was the cutest little laugh I've ever heard. Oh my gosh. Oh,
and they're just like going back and forth between the colors, and just like it's getting a little bit muddy because they're not remembering to like wash the brush between colors, but
yeah.
they're just like not even making any coherent picture. They're just like having fun marking the page and then figuring out like, oh God, if it makes different marks if I use the brush this way or that way. um,
Yeah.
and
Petra's sitting here having a moment of I would die for this child.
yeah, they're just having a lot of fun doing that. And um then after making a big splotchy painty mess on a couple of pages, they look up at Petra and uh
Mhm.
start blotching up another page, but they're more hesitant, more guided this time. I'm gonna go ahead and make a roll.
Oh boy, a roll. Oh.
Mm, beep. It's a very like
Ooh.
they're using way too much water, so it's running all over the place. Um
Mhm.
and it takes you a while to figure out what's going on, but if you squint and use context clues from the way that they are peeking at you, you think this is supposed to be a picture of you, Petra. um,
Oh. Oh.
and it's yeah, they have only just learned what watercolors are, let alone how to do it, but they hold it up to you very proudly.
Oh. I'm melting. This is really cute. Oh. You know what? That's probably just Petra's reaction. Just oh. Just giving the kid just the biggest grin. Hey, that looks pretty good. Like she reaches over and like kind of rustles their hair.
And they giggle again.
Oh, oh, oh man. I think Petra just kind of grins and just kind of like looks down at all the art supplies that are kind of littered about before if you want I haven't really used that sketchbook all that want. Do you maybe want to keep it?
And they look a little bit surprised, and um
And like Petra's kind of like watching them for their reaction because the last time she gave this kid something to keep, they looked a little nervous about it. And she's wondering if like that same reaction is gonna happen again.
it does. There's you, because you've seen it before, you can pick up again. There's a bit of anxiety there. Um but also they're looking at it, and like you could tell like there's that anxiety, but also like they do want it. And they
They
feel
do want
conflicted
it.
about that. And
I think Petra's just gonna give like a little reassuring pat on the shoulder. It's fine, you can have it. I'm giving it to you.
Mm. The child like looks up at her, and before, like when you gave it to them before, like they were trying really hard to like look happy and cheerful and like everything was fine, and now like they're wearing it a little more plainly, the nerves, but
Mhm.
as a result you can tell like they're slowly starting to just be like, okay. They sort of like clutch the journal close to their chest. There's a slight squelch, and you're like, ah, yes, the picture definitely just got smeared all over.
Oh yeah. Yeah, yeah. That's
um,
that's watercolors part 2. We can have that lesson later.
Here's the thing: when you can prestidigitate everything clean, you don't take messiness very seriously.
Yeah.
um,
Yeah.
and child just sort of holds it close, and I think they even do a small like they that thing where like they just sort of lean against her. um
I think she's just gonna like keep rubbing her hands on Kiddo's back, like, yeah. Just like trying to be like just like a reassuring presence, if that makes sense.
mhm.
Yee.
And Petra, make one more quick perception check.
Oh boy. Perception time. 10.
Yeah, you just sit there with the kid as they hold it, and after a bit they they sort of straighten up and um still holding it close, stand up and look at her. And in like,
Petra just
hmm,
hmm?
go ahead.
You go ahead. No, you go ahead.
You hear just like a noise, and there's no more specific way to describe it. There's just something that you swear you heard something, but you cannot possibly describe it or where it came from. You just heard something. Um,
Hmm. Ominous.
and the child, the sound then stops, and the child wraps their arms around you in a hug.
Ooh.
And then they grab their watercolors and run away.
Oh. Oh my gosh, I'm dying. I'm dying. Petra is just kind of like sitting there like, oh, oh, and then suddenly the child is running off, and then, oh, oh. I think Petra is just kind of like blinking, watching the kid run off before she just grins and stands up and dusts herself off.
You have given this child an incredible gift.
I have given the child the power of sketchbook.
The power of creation.
The power of creation itself.
It's like all this kid wants to do is figure out how to make marks on things.
Oh,
But
that's so
yeah,
cute.
and I think you don't see the kid for a while, but maybe the next day or so. Um, uh, Petra like finds like slipped under her window at the inn or something, or just like wedged in is just like a couple drawings of like more splotchy watercolors of her and March and Star and people.
Oh, she's keeping them in her own sketchbook because she loves them very much. They're very cool. Oh, that's probably like a really good spot to end it. Oh my gosh, I'm so
Yay.
soft. Yumi, I'm so soft.
Oh, big soft, big babies.
Big soft, big babies. Big babies. I love them so much. Ah. I'm just lays down and dies from cute.
Oh,
Uh,
it's hard when you can neither talk nor write nor read. Gotta communicate by draw.
communicate by draw. Communicate by illustration.
Indeed.
Indeed.
Well, thank you everyone for
Uh,
listening to this good soft time of soft friends.
it was so
And
good.
if you enjoyed this and aren't listening to Dreamer's Crest, go listen to Dreamer's Crest.
Please, it's so good.
All right, goodbye.
Bye.